We're at Whispering Pines Labradors at Malacca, Minnesota. My wife Mary Jo and I have been raising puppies since 1984. She and I were both born on livestock farms. I've been employed in the animal agriculture for most of my working career.
He always has had a love of the dogs and wanted to build it up and kind of brought it into our family, and it was good for the kids as we had family, and the kids enjoyed it and we had fun with it. And it kind of grew more and more when he approached me and said, I'd like to come home and do this full time. I'm thinking, yeah, I like to be home.
We have 6 children, 5 boys and 1 daughter. With my boys, a number of them were interested in, and did a lot of things outside. So hence, to begin with, we had a lot of the field type of labs. I've always had a strong interest in genetics. Having Labrador retrievers has allowed me to do some of that. I can play with the genetics, and it's really, really interesting following the different genetic lines. Over time, we've kind of migrated more towards the conformation type, sometimes referred to as English or British type labs. At the end of the day, it's about temperament. And so we like a dog that's quiet and calm and yet has retrieving drive. Now that retrieving drive is variable, just depending upon our genetic lines. We have people come into our yard that have special needs, and we have people come into your yard looking for a puppy that are avid hunters. And they need to go home with extremely different puppies.
One really touching situation was the family called us back, and they said that they had a daughter that we never met and a son. Both of them were special needs. The son was just all over the puppies and very excited. The little girl, I guess, was in a wheelchair. And they told us that when they brought the puppy home, he never went near the little girl. It was like he knew she was afraid of him. And as time went on, and it was like within 2-3 weeks, the little girl reached down to the puppy, and the puppy quietly came up to them, and they were best friends ever since. And it was just a really shining moment.
Our labs come in 3 different colors. We have black labs, and then we have the yellow labs. We don't have chocolate labs. Within that yellow gene, there are labs that are anything from an ivory, which is white, all the way to what we refer to as fox red. The health on the dogs is extremely important. When we choose our little puppies, the first thing that happens when they're about 8 to 10 weeks of age, we bring them to an ophthalmologist. He's able to look at that undeveloped eye to determine if they would be able to transmit some inheritable eye defects onto their offspring.
We do the neurological stimulation, and that's from day 3 to day 18 in the puppy's life. And that's just putting the puppy into uncomfortable positions, about 5 different positions that make them acclimate when they're back home with their new owners, and how they adjust more quickly to the different situation that they're put into. We take them in the house 3 to 4 times a week, and I interact with them and do some personality temperament testing.
Well, a typical day at Whispering Pines, in the morning I grab my coffee and then I head out to the buildings. I first go into the building where we have our adults and our young adults. I let each of those dogs out of their kennels, they sit, and then I go to the door, open the door, and then while they're sitting, I call them out by name. I take a 1/3 of a mile walk through our wooded area, and we make that tour, and then we come back into our building, and then they're fed. Well, we really know each of our dogs very well. Based upon our dogs' personalities, that's how we choose our matings. We will know who's the most outgoing puppy and who's the quietest puppy in the group.
Well, we try to follow up at 1 year. We send out a puppy questionnaire to see how the puppy's doing and how things are going with the family, and if it was a good matchup. And I've seen some really neat situations where a family comes and they're set on a certain puppy, and we talk about it more, and we maybe sway them a little bit different, and they end up taking a different puppy than they thought they would take. And down the road, it was the right choice.
We thoroughly enjoy what we do. I enjoy visiting with folks from all over the United States just to get to know people. It's fun when they can visit. We really do encourage those visits, but it isn't always logistically possible, and that's why we're doing this.
Seeing the families match up and hearing back from families, I think is what I really enjoy the most. it's just built up to where we are now, and now we're empty nesters, and it's the two of us, and it's fun. We do a lot with the dogs, and we enjoy what we do.
We are blessed to be able to do what we so much enjoy, working with these great labs. Thank you so much for your interest in our kennel.